A lot of our viewers, they ask questions about that term and about the term creative genius. And Sam Thompson, he asked this question where he said, you know, you've called yourself that and you've kind of equated yourself to all these different people, you know, Da Vinci, Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, Michelangelo. And he's asked, how would you define a genius in that context? But also, why do you feel the need to call yourself that?
Because otherwise I'm called celebrity. I'm called nigger. I'm called rapper. And when they use the word celebrity, nigger, or rapper, it's not in a positive way. And all these things, all those words can be used in an extremely positive way. What's up, my nigga? You know, but that's not the way it's used. So I have to define who I am. You know, all of my aspirations are things that currently only 60-year-old white people do. So I have to redefine and let people know exactly who I am. And it's not letting them know by, you know, wearing a suit, or letting them know by wearing a Rolex, or letting them know by, you know, bragging about how much money a sponsorship made on top of a rap. It's letting them know by saying, let's start with this. I'm a creative genius. And it's proven, and I will continue to prove it. You know, when people try to take the piss out of me for clothing and this and that, you know, they never think about the fact that I never had the opportunity to be properly educated. And if given the means to be properly educated, or even given, you know, the proper support group, I would completely light the lights up. So, you know, we sell, you know, shoes that people want to line up for because we put love in them. We put heart in them. We want to make Christmas presents. We want to make something that people want so bad that it hurts them if they can't have it. It's not a just a financial opportunity there. Of course, you need finances, but it's a form of discrimination and racism, especially with, you know, blacks in fashion. And it literally, you know, it took me being Kanye West to get this far in fashion. Meaning, like, I was able to become a multimillionaire and invest in myself because no one else would have in a million years. I've got this one employee that's a black guy, and sometimes there'll be a piece of misinformation, you know, three weeks later he'll tell me something, and he says it kind of like with his voice down. And I remember being with my dad, and my dad was the type of dad that would be everybody's dad. A guy would come in and like want to sell some cookies, and my dad was a salesman also. So he'd say, excuse me, I got these cookies. And he'd say, yo, sir, pick your head up and explain to me what you want to say and what you want to sell. This guy, this employee, because blacks, especially in America, have been raised with a slave mentality, don't feel that they have the right to speak as loud as possible. And every time you hear a black person speaking as loud as possible, it's after somebody's gonna say, look at those niggas over there. So if you don't want to be called a name in a derogatory way, you'd rather put it in, what's people's favorite word to use for me? Humble. But if we go on iTunes right now, on your iPhone right now, just go to dictionary, you look up humble, 80% of the definition is negative. It's a controlling word. It's a way to control the masses and to control the sheep. Yeah, I think there's a level of reality to being nice, to being cordial to people. But if you have the ability to lead, you are a leader, you have the answers, or you have the ability to find people with the answers, and your will is to help, you should not be humble. You should speak up, because this world is broken. So someone needs to say something. And sometimes I just feel like I'm the only one that's not crazy. You know?